What section is this? Everybody. You can get books from here? Everybody.
Books like these
And there's all different kinds.
weren't available to everybody a year ago
Is this Jackie?
because students
One at the top, yep, that's the one. And then
weren't allowed here at Tobias Elementary School in Kyle. The COVID-19 pandemic kept Hayes CISD schools shut down.
yep, that's it. Good job.
When it was time to reopen,
Thank you. Is that it?
it was up to Max Cleaver to make sure the school stayed safe.
Layers of protection.
The indoor air as pure as possible. He's the district's chief operations officer.
Go ahead and get out your writing material.
The pandemic was that catalyst to really get people thinking about it a little harder.
He presented Hayes CISD board members an offer. Spend $4.4 million to install air purifiers in each room. Bigger rooms like this library would need 2 units.
We're just trying to think of creative solutions to keep kids in the classroom.
The purifier isn't a typical filter. The Hayes CISD already has those, 3,500 of them, changed 10 times a year, Cleaver says. This machine doesn't trap a virus, it kills it. It takes about 30 minutes, Cleaver says, to purify all air in an average empty classroom.
COVID or not, these machines, any living pathogen, whether it's a MRSA, staph or mold or just a common allergen.
Cleaver must determine if the $4.4 million price tag was worth it.
I just love being in the school environment.
Sangeetha Kumar, Dr. Attila Novasak, and Dr. Carrie Kinney lead indoor air quality research in Texas. Right now, the trio has funding to study air quality inside schools and universities.
Typically, schools across the country are underventilated. That seems to be a typical problem.
They say better ventilation leads to fewer absences. Kumar's research in 2019 studied ventilation rates compared to flu absences. With 20% more ventilation, Kumar found schools could save between $1.20 to $5 per student. The virus couldn't spread as easily, so the students weren't out sick.
We are incentivized to save energy, and sometimes we do wrong stuff like cutting the ventilation rate.
Studying schools teaches us.
We spend 90% of our time indoors. That's where you're actually getting your exposures.
Harvard School of Public Health pushes policymakers for cleaner air.
We have the money. We just need government officials who are held accountable and have the courage to make the change.
Do not turn to the government for help. We checked. The KVUE defenders found no regulations of indoor air quality. OSHA, the government agency tasked with keeping workers safe, wrote to the defenders OSHA does not have regulations for indoor air quality. The agency does not routinely conduct IAQ inspections of buildings within the state of Texas. On the state and local level, Texas Commission on Environmental Quality only monitors outdoor air conditions. Same for the city of Austin. The Texas Department of State Health Services once had its own indoor air quality division for government buildings. Legislators stripped it in 2015. State Office of Risk Management advises Texas agencies of best practice, but does not enforce. Tobias Elementary will be the first school in Hayes County to get the purifiers.
Will it help us with the pandemic? Yes, we believe so. But we're also looking long range out for the next decade or 20 years.
Tim Savoy, Chief Communications Officer, says the district isn't allowed to require masks. The state writes the rules for in-class versus at-home learning. This, he says, was their best option.
That we're not required to do it, but we're also not prohibited from doing it. And that seems to be what we've been running into a lot this year.
Clean our hands before we go in, okay?
Again, just looking at creative solutions to keep the kids in school, give some people some peace of mind, and just frankly make the air cleaner.
Okay, start here.
Air cleaner.
All right.
And library
Hug your book with 2 hands.
open.
Hug your book with 2 hands.
With the KVUE defenders,
Hug your book, 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 hug your book with 2 hands.
I'm Erica Proffer.